Sure I don't mess up the intro this time. All right. Welcome to another episode of Ash and Their Fantastic Friends. Today we're going to discuss Mpreg.
Now that's an intro.
Yeah.
All right.
And that's it for 2 hours.
Well, okay, to be fair, we did do an Omegaverse issue, like, literally last week.
Yep.
So, go check that out if you want to see me debate Mpreg. No, but today the discussion is, of course, going to be about the recent She-Hulk comic and why is Wyatt Wingfoot not in it?
At least Ben's in it.
Ben is in it. We got one member of the Fantastic Four, and yet still no Wyatt Wingfoot, because I need people to like get into my mind space of like when me reading issue 1, because I had fully convinced myself at that point that Wyatt Wingfoot was just gonna show up. Like, no explanation. He's just gonna be there.
Honestly,
Yeah.
Wyatt and Jack box.
Wyatt and Jack. Do you want Jack to just like get his shit rocked?
I mean,
Yeah. He's a powerful cosmic being, but not in this book.
oh shit, my food's here. 1 sec.
Okay, yeah, you're good.
Get your food. Get fed.
Get fed. Get food. So here's the thing about feeding kinks.
About what, King?
So sometimes
Did you say breeding or feeding?
I
Ooh,
said
two
feeding.
different things.
I said feeding.
Feeding.
Although, hold on, because here's the
There
thing.
is feeding kink in She-Hulk that we could discuss.
Wait,
Kind of.
is it? Wait, there's feeding kink in She-Hulk?
Kind of. There's something weird about the fact that, like, Jack apparently hasn't heard of food before.
Oh my god, I forgot about that. Because I forgot that the other
And She-Hulk's
She-Hulk.
giving him, like, tons of food all at once. And it's like, why is he not? What do you mean he hasn't heard of food?
What? What? Wasn't he like a normal dude up until like he got like cosmic radiation?
Yeah, he was a normal Earth human man for 20 years, and he forgot all that apparently.
He forgot all about food, and then now he wants his giant green lady to feed him.
I mean,
Yeah.
Relatable. But here's the thing: you know who should be being fed?
me.
What? Okay, that's a valid option. I was about to say Wyatt Wingfoot.
Why Wingfoot?
Because I think, because I saw a fridge full of like roasted turkeys, and I was like, that looks like Wyatt Wingfoot's fridge. That's what they're feeding that man.
Does he know what food is? Because we have to ask that question about every one of She-Hulk's boyfriends.
Okay, Wyatt 100% knows what food is. And I know this because in his first appearance, every 5 seconds, someone was asking, damn, what are they feeding this man? Why is he so big? I think that's what's missing from the current She-Hulk run. We just need a really big dude.
I mean, we had Ben.
We did have Ben. We
got Ben.
I don't know.
What do they feed Ben?
Sediment.
I was about to say halal food, but then I realized that like it's different. It's a different term, but it is the same concept. Kosher. That's what it is.
Does Ben keep kosher?
No.
Yeah.
We see him eat meat and cheese sandwiches, ham sandwiches.
He's a big man. He's got to get his food in. He's got to get calories out.
He's got to get as much in as possible. I like how I was like, what is it, halal? And I was like, that's just what it is in my head. No, but the Jack of Hearts and She-Hulk relationship, minus the feeding kink, apparently. Oh, I feel like sometimes I feel like I'm the only person who's like not into it, but then I like turn around on the internet and everyone's like, "Why is this happening?"
See, it's very bland, and I don't know if it's just because I've been reading a lot of like Hawk stuff where you see the relationship grow into a romantic one, whereas with Jack, it's like he's back and she's horny.
Yeah, that's about it.
He's back
Which
and she's horny.
That's like the same thing that's happening with Rhodey in that Captain Marvel run, where it's like, if you just wanted a boring doormat boyfriend, why couldn't you just make up a new one instead of like,
or bring a certain one back?
Yeah, sure.
Why it's not doing anything?
Disaster lesbian Carol Danvers.
Yeah. She needs a safe boyfriend. It's just like, okay, just make one up then. I don't know why Rhodey has to be.
Like, what was it? Okay, this is like deep cut, but do you know My Little Pony?
Kinda.
Okay, like there's a popular ship between like Rarity and Applejack, and because the show refuses to show gay people, much like Marvel Comics does with certain characters, they decided to make Rarity a love interest that was just a male Applejack. And
yeah,
I feel like if you're gonna have a character like Carol, where like they are clearly, obviously, they're not straight. We know this. Just take the most popular ship and make it male, and then just put it.
That's basically Jessica Drew in Across the Spider-Verse. I'm still holding onto my theory that the father of her baby is named Carl Danvers.
That would be so funny, actually.
No, I genuinely believe that they can't actually do that, because it would be a parody character, and so they wouldn't have to ask anyone permission. They could just be like, "Yeah, Carl Danvers."
Got him.
That's your husband, and it would make more sense, especially because she specifically she calls her husband Cordy. He and I feel like that's Carol. That's just Carol. That's who is
Corn Master Carol.
That has a completely different connotation when we're talking on TikTok than it does here. We can say porn here.
We can't say corn now on here. We can only say porn. We can't say corn.
We can't say corn? Oh, fuck.
On which platform?
Like,
if it's YouTube, I think you can. You just won't get monetized, but also like, I don't know if this is monetized.
I don't know either.
Like, you think I should ask down per se?
Yeah. You think I should? You think it being my YouTube channel, I would actually know if my stuff's being monetized? No, I don't know what I'm doing ever at any given point in time.
No. Oh my god.
Eventually. Yeah, no, but
you got jump scared by Hank and Janet kissing.
You where?
Ew.
Avengers.
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about Hank and Janet.
We have to.
This is. I feel like
this is the Hank Pym unfriendly zone.
But from what I've read, it might seem like he's a villain, which could be interesting, maybe, as long as they don't pull bullshit with him.
It's Al Ewing.
Yeah.
It's Al Ewing.
He's a bit of a Hank stan, so I doubt it.
At least I'll always have that one Immortal Hulk issue where Ben talks to Joe Fixit about Judaism.
Yeah. Thanks for that one.
Wait, go home now. He wrote Immortal Hulk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did Rick Jones? Isn't that the one where Rick Jones gets turned into goop?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He made Rick Jones goop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I think I might have personal beef with this man.
It was in fairness, it was kind of cool, but like in a macabre way.
Okay,
Goop.
like Rick Jones being goop is like, yeah, it's fun, but also at the same time, let Rick Jones live. He just lost his wife.
Well, he was dead at the time, so
Yeah. He was dead and like brought back to life with the goop.
yeah.
Wait,
It's like he resurrected Rick Jones.
As Goop.
technically. Yeah.
Yeah, well, because here's the thing: if Rick Jones is Goop and he's dead as Goop, then that means he can be with his wife and make weird death babies. Okay, look, we're gonna talk. Look.
What kink is that?
I'm gonna need a full
I need these.
Rick Jones reading order after this.
Oh.
The Rick Jones reading order is if you just go on Marvel Unlimited, you type in Rick Jones, and then you just
He's
go
everywhere.
down the list.
Really?
He's everywhere.
Like, they don't like leave out issues with him.
They
probably do.
They do, but like
do with
if you
everyone.
just keep on reading throughout whatever you have, he just keeps on showing up. Like I don't see any like major stuff left out. It's more like, oh, Rick Jones just so happens to be in this issue of Captain America, and he's just like, haha, I'm Rick Jones.
Has Rick Jones never interacted with? Like, has he interacted with the Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big
He's actually
a big cosmic character.
He's a huge cosmic character
because
because
I know he has like to shit with Marvel. It's like it's more like, has he ever like interacted with like the modern team, like Star-Lord and whatnot? Like not as Marvel?
I don't know about the modern team.
Yeah, I don't think he's been around that much recently.
Because his like big, or the only time I can think of when he was like in the room with like so many Guardians was the 2020 Captain Marvel with Genus Fell.
Oh yeah.
And so
Genus.
Phyla was in it. Moondragon was in it, which by the way, Moondragon stole his wife. So for like a hot second there. So I feel like more people should address that. Moondragon's kind of I think Rick Jones should find her.
I'm still mourning 616 Phyla because the Phyla we have now is from a different universe. 616 Phyla was a butch lesbian, or like butch as butch as comics will allow at that point in time.
Yeah.
And like so cool, and then she died and never came back.
Rip, girl, rip.
See, this is the first. See, because I don't keep up with cosmic that much. I don't know why, despite the fact that my biggest character I'm known for is Miss Marvel, but I'm just why does Marvel take everything that's good from us? Because
cosmic is a lot.
Aren't like all the Guardians dead now too?
No, just the queer ones, like Marvel Boy
and good riddance.
Hercules, Phyla, Moondragon, like all those.
At least like 3 of those, I'm not sad that they're gone. Phyla, though, I am sad, but that's just because I like Phyla. She's the only Marvel child who deserves rights.
Honestly,
I want to like her so bad, but her wife is her wife.
Honestly, the Abnett Lanning Guardians is so good. And it's a shame because literally no other run has been able to be as good as that.
Mm-hmm.
I need to actually read Guardians.
It's so good. And so is Annihilation, both that and also Conquest. And once you read it, you will finally understand why I say the Fantastic Four should have been part of Annihilation and not Civil War.
Yeah. No, I need to add that's been on my reading list for a while. But also at the same time, my reading list is sometimes I just look up characters' names and I just read random appearances out of order. Like my reading list is chaotic. I think at one point I decided to read through both Civil Wars and then live tweet it to Taystar. And then at a certain point, I think you asked me something like, why are you reading these with no context whatsoever?
Yeah. If you read Civil War, you have to read Civil War, like the whole thing. You can't just read the 7 issues.
I literally went, I'm reading the 7-issue miniseries and then nothing else.
Yeah, you're not getting the full experience.
I mean,
I think I got a better experience.
Fantastic Four tie-ins were very much J. Michael Straczynski trying to salvage whatever the fuck Mark Miller was doing.
That's what like every tie-in is.
Like after
every tie-in is really good, and then there's like the main series is garbage.
Oh, so like Civil War 2. Except
the Carol one was sort of ugh, because like you have Carol on a team with Aurora who has dissociative identity disorder, having these kind of like mental health things. Could have been a super interesting like character moment for Carol, but instead the author was like, yeah, let's have Carol be randomly ableist towards Aurora for no reason.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah, that sounds like that era.
And it's like, but why though?
Yeah.
Why though, Carol?
But the Miss Marvel tie-in, beautiful, perfect, and no notes.
All I know is that my beloved unbeatable Squirrel Girl was not interrupted by Civil War 2.
I feel like whenever there is a big event, they'll hit up Ryan, and Ryan North has a book out, they'll like call him and be like, hey, do you want to do a tie-in for this event? And he just instantly goes, no. Because I mean, if you think about it, you know, we have this whole like Fall of X stuff, coming out right now, and Ryan, like, we have that, we have Gang War, we have 2 events that probably would impact the Fantastic Four in some way because they heavily involve.
He passed it off to Dugan.
Yeah,
they probably asked him and was like, Gary, you do it.
Honestly, if Franklin was still a mutant, I think a super interesting Paul of X book would be like him, Artie, Leech, and North Star's husband, Kyle, being like, well, I guess we have to do this, and it's just basically Kyle babysitting through 3 kids.
No, because honestly, I feel like that would, if Marvel went up to Ryan North and pitched that, he would actually agree to do it. He would be like, yeah, oh, of course. Okay, you want me to babysit these 3 kids? You want to see these people just babysit? Because I very rarely go on Reddit, but I was on the Fantastic Forum there. And so...
Speaking of She-Hulk.
Mother.
No, but I was on the Fantastic Four thing, and someone had said something like Ryan North basically writes like, you know, the Fantastic Four are having a normal day, but then something weird happens, and they were saying it as an insult, and I'm like, no.
Like, have they not read the Lee Kirby run?
Yeah, that's literally what happens. Reed is like, I'm gonna do a science, and everyone's like, yes, good read.
Or literally issue 1 where they're having a normal day, then Mole Man happens.
Yeah.
Like, this is issue 1, guys.
Yeah, like, do you just hate comic books at that point? I mean, this is...
do you not like having fun?
And I know
do you not like Peak?
No, one dude who's also like super condescending to me and my mentions was like, yeah, Ryan North got rid of the kids, he's so evil. Then like 3 weeks later, kids centric issue.
The kids are coming back, and it's like Ryan North is not evil. He is pacing it out exactly how like you should after slots run, where it's like, okay, we got too busy all at once. Let's just focus on the 4 for a few issues, and then the kids, and then hopefully Wyatt Wingfoot. I'm staking my reputation on this.
And also at that one Flash fan on Twitter who was like Reed is a bad dad because he abandoned his kids, then was like agreeing with the point of like yeah, Sue Storm had a miscarriage, therefore Reed is a bad dad, despite his favorite character Wally West, his wife, having one of the most famous miscarriages in comics.
I was like, didn't what was that?
Linda
Reverse Flash. Didn't he cause miscarriage? Like, at least Sue's made like, it was like an actual like medical reason. Not, Reverse Flash comes up.
Like
Flash comics are insane.
Going, oh, I'm sorry, Reed is a bad dad because he decided to protect the lives of his kids. Whoopsies.
What?
Won't happen again.
They're alive somewhere.
They're alive. They're not even going to like realize that they have been gone for a year. They're just gonna like reappear, and it's gonna be like, okay.
Hi, kids.
Franklin on the Alex Ross cover looks so full grown. I'm so emotional.
I didn't realize, I couldn't tell who the kids were for a second.
Yeah, because like when they did I forget which kid was it. Is Joven the
Joven is the blue
scroll
one,
or the Kree?
Joven is the Kree one.
Yeah, he blended in with Franklin's shirt. I just don't pay attention to those kids because it's very much so Dan's Slott being like, no, the Fantastic Four cannot be around all those other kids. That makes them look terrible. Then creating his own OCs. So I'm like, what's the reason?
That's like Dan Slott's move every 5 seconds. Like, oh no, we can't have this. Let me create my own OC. Like, there was this one post that was like, Dan Slott is really mad that he didn't create Miles Morales, and that's why he created Spider-Boy. And like every single day that becomes more and more true. Like,
yep.
Like, I feel like, because Cindy Moon would have been like 2011. Was Cindy Moon before Spider-Gwen?
Yes.
Okay.
Spider-Boy was like last year.
Yeah. I don't have an explanation for Cindy Moon. However, Nikki and Joven really do sound like I didn't come up with the Future Foundation kids, so I'm gonna make my own.
Yeah, then basically sideline the entire Future Foundation because that wasn't what he grew up reading.
Yeah. Oh God, I hate it when comic book writers do that, because it's like you're supposed to want to like kind of create what the next generation is going to be reading. Like, if you just go back to your childhood, like, where's the fun in that? It's like
and like people enjoyed the Future Foundation. Honestly, I think Matt Fraction's Future Foundation is leagues better than his Fantastic Four, because it allows you to do fun, cool, interesting, cute things.
Yeah. It also involves my favorite Wyatt Jen date.
Yes.
Sorry.
With the Moylords?
Yes. Where the Moylords are just like fucking up their entire date. It was adorable. And
Right?
I was only reading Matt Fraction's run because Old Man Johnny Storm is hot. I will be quoted saying that. Old Man Johnny Storm is hot. And to see the Wyatt Jen date. And it was, look, okay.
Valid.
I think
I'm pretty sure that run also has the issue where Ben and Jen are trying to see who can bench more.
Yeah,
I think so.
I've seen
Probably.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, because it happened. I think it might have been the first
Yeah,
issue, but
because that's
I saw it to read through
why
it.
Ben asked Jen, or like at least the scenario that brought them to the place where he was like, "Hey, could you fill in for me for 5 minutes?" And spoiler alert, it was not 5 minutes.
It was not 5 minutes. It's never 5 minutes with them. I honestly, because I feel like, I feel like a lot of writers are kind of running into this issue, mostly because, when I questioned Ryan North about when Wyatt's returning, he mentioned that, like, the cast is expanding more. We're getting 4 more people. So I feel like with that big cast, we kind of need the Future Foundation back, because if you don't want the kids in, like, a story or two because they're children and you probably should not be taking them on these dangerous adventures, then you can have them be in the Future Foundation, or you can have Wyatt be in the Future Foundation, or
Oh, yeah.
She-Hulk, or like all these other things.
Oh, I have so many recommendations. Put Lunella and Valeria in charge of the Future Foundation, because one of the only funny things about the slot run was their rivalry. So having them both be in charge, beautiful writing.
They're not doing anything with Lunella right now, and she literally is having, like, a show that is being highly praised.
And have Franklin be the quote powerhouse of it, like bring back like Jack, Katie Power, like all that stuff.
Bring back the Power siblings, because honestly, I miss
Bring
them.
back Ricky.
I like them.
Pre-order Power Pack Into the Storm.
And also pre-order She-Hulk, Sensational She-Hulk issue 2 for the return of Wyatt Wingfoot.
It's gonna make it the first time a number 2 gets more sales than the number 1.
I hope so badly that more people order that book, because I saw the numbers for Sensational She-Hulk number 1 and I was like,
Yeah.
I can't get the return. I can't justify to like Marvel and like all the executives the return of Wyatt Wingfoot if his first appearance back since Slot's run is just flops. And like I trust Ryan North with my life. I probably should not trust a 40-year-old man, a 40-year-old married man with my life, but
I mean after Squirrel Girl, I trust him.
I think we need to just trust him and trust that he will be the writer to make Johnny and Wyatt a thing. I have full faith that this is where we're going.
From what I've heard from a person on Tumblr who talked to Dan Slott at a con. So again, this might not be reliable. Dan said that he wanted to make Johnny and Wyatt canon, but Marvel was reserving that for a queer writer.
See.
So again, massive grain of salt with that one, but
yeah, I think it's very funny. I saw somebody say that Marvel was telling writers to pretend that they were queer to like be more marketable. So I've been like, okay, who is it? Who's the faker?
Who's the faker? It's not Johnny. That's all I know.
I have ideas, but I won't. Writers.
Oh, writers. Okay, I have ideas.
We don't have to speculate, but I do have my ideas.
We know.
I have an idea, but I'm keeping my mouth shut because I don't want to rag on women comic writers, especially in this sort of industry that does not give them a lot of chances.
See, the fact that you mentioned women comic writers, that kind of narrows it down, because they stopped giving women books.
Yeah.
I was like, I forgot because they just
Like, how
stopped.
many are there that have books?
It's like they just stopped giving them books recently, and okay, I
I just
love.
know both the ones I thought of have books right now at DC. That's all I'm gonna say.
That narrows it down even more. Marvel and
Not for
DC,
me though, because I don't know
watching
anyone
that.
at DC.
Yeah, Marvel and DC. If you're seeing this, please let Ryan North be on here. Please.
Hey DC, please let Ryan North write the next JSA run, please. Now that Jeff Johns is leaving.
Oh
And-
god, I keep on forgetting that there's like a massive like writers like shifting that's happening right
Yeah.
now. Because isn't it like
It's like
Al
him,
Ewing left?
Brian Hitch is leaving. Peter Tomasi, who you probably know from his Superman run.
Oh, ooh.
Like a lot of others, they're leaving to make their own indie comic at Image.
Oh. See, I was talking about the shifting that was happening at Marvel with like Al leaving the X-Men and then the Fantastic Four catching strays for some reason.
Yeah, this one guy was like, oh yeah, they're definitely like gonna put him on the Fantastic Four. Like, shut the fuck up.
It's like, okay, maybe
Empath
some people want
profile
that.
picture, like,
yeah, like it's pretty clear that he's just leaving to go focus on Thor.
Oh yeah, I've heard he has like 25 to 50 issues planned or something like that.
Jesus.
Ambitious. They'll just give it to him even if it doesn't sell. So
that is true. That's
I mean,
true.
Immortal Thor so far has been selling pretty well.
I mean,
especially given the fact that like Thor isn't usually like top 5, but now he is.
Oh dang.
yeah,
Yeah, no, because
his name's on it.
see, I just need Marvel to just keep Al Ewing away from like, you know, like Janet Van Dyne and like, you know, women and characters of color.
The way I see it, keep him near Marvel Cosmic, away from like everywhere else.
Yeah. Everywhere else.
Yes, then I never have to see him. That'd be great for me.
He's great when it comes to Marvel Cosmic. It's just everything else.
It's just everything else. Like I don't know why all the X-Men. Okay, I know why some of the X-Men fans were upset, specifically the ones who were like, "Oh, you know, where's Storm gonna go?" Because that's like a valid concern. Because for some reason, Marvel
I feel like they would give Storm. They would give Storm a solo at this point because it's weird that she's just not in anything. So I feel like there's something planned for her.
I really hope that there's something planned with her, especially because. So I bought the last Storm solo. I have yet to read it.
Woof.
But yeah, but it's also like the Mohawk era that like who likes that?
Annie Nocenti has very much lost her touch. I really like a lot of her writing. I think the original Long Shot mini, phenomenal. She's lost it.
She's lost it.
That interview she did about Carol, that Captain Marvel mini that she did, was so fucking funny. She hated her, and I was like, "Girl, you can lie. You can lie in the interview."
Yeah.
See, I kind of do want more Marvel writers to be unhinged, though. Like, if I'm being honest, it makes for funnier interviews. Like, there was not Ann Nocenti, but like there was another writer, and it might have been Zdarsky, but they just absolutely went like, I do not like any.
Oh. A child.
Hey.
We have a child.
I have
Red Wings.
both of
Isn't he cute?
my dogs are being annoying. Say hi, girls.
Best Avenger.
The dogs.
Hi,
There's
puppies.
Penelope and Maxine's there. They just want
I don't think we can
my food, which you are
I can
not
hear
going
you.
to get, girls.
Yeah, I forgot to order her boba. So
Oh, you're the
Rest in
worst.
peace.
she's
Boba rocks.
yeah, okay. Do you want me to order it? Okay. Well, guess that's what is happening. I did tell her, and I do kind of also want boba. So yeah, no, but
Oh
I
my
feel
God.
like it was like Zadarsky who said something like, "Oh yeah, I don't like the," or it was Zadarsky complaining about the Daredevil fans. So it's the exact thing that happened, where he was just like, I'm kind of done with them.
You know what? He is so real for that. I have to give him props because Daredevil fans suck.
Daredevil fans do suck, and
If you say even one negative thing about the character, even if that negative thing has sort of been addressed in in the story, they go ape shit. Like,
yeah, okay. I feel like because there's also like the thing with like I think that more people need to be respectful of like writers on like Twitter and stuff because like the person who's writing the Scarlet Witch mini, they also started getting
Steve
like
Orlando.
yeah, Steve
Mhm.
Orlando also started getting like a lot of like hate and like
Like at him too, like not
Yeah.
even just randomly. Like people were adding him.
yeah
I felt that way about Tessa. What's her name? The Kelly Thompson
Yeah.
getting hate for
Oh,
Birds
Kelly
of Prey because
Thompson.
it's like you could not like the book. You don't have to dogpile her on Twitter like that. It's a little bit much.
One of my mutuals is a huge Birds of a Prey fan, and she
Mhm.
also writes from AIPT, and pretty much every time she writes a review for the book, she's like, "Hey, look, I love Kelly Thompson. I think she is one of the best women
Mhm.
modern writers. I just don't like this book." And like I feel
Yeah.
like that's a good even thing.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I feel like that's kind of fair. I'm the lights. Literally, this child ran out of the
What
room.
happened?
She ran out, turned the lights on me. I don't know what happened because I can't
Kind
hear
of deserved.
anything with my headphones.
Oh.
Jesus. Oh shoot! Ow.
Oh my gosh, the Johnny Storm mic is there. He's always there. Always
He's always
watching and waiting. What if they kiss? What if though?
I mean,
Where is
poor
Scott?
Jack,
What has
but
he been up to? What
honestly,
has Scott been up to? Scott Lang? Didn't you have a movie, Scott Lang? Where are you?
I mean, I don't know. They were promoting Janet pretty hard with the movie.
Yeah.
They have always been. I feel like they're trying to like switch focus to more being Janet. But also update if you want to know what happened. 2 random other children are now in my house.
Oh.
And apparently, I think my mom yelled something along the lines of, "Your friends are here." And then she just ran out and then turned off the light, forgetting I was in here. She still wants boba though, apparently.
I mean,
Yeah.
I can't blame her.
I
Mhm.
it's just like I don't this child confuses me.
Have you guys been keeping up with the current Hawk Girl run?
I have
Yeah,
not.
it's
I
fun.
have all of them bought.
Because issue 4 is very much contentious on like normal Hawk Girl fans Twitter and not weirdo comic fan Twitter.
Yeah, I
'Cause
know people are weird about DC. I'm scared of DC Twitter.
the thing is, like, it's 99.9% of the time the weirdos who are being weird.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
DC Twitter and just DC in general, like they scare me deeply.
Honestly, I'm more afraid of Marvel Twitter just solely because of X-Men Twitter.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, they're the
I
worst.
I forgot about X-Men Twitter.
Yeah,
Just like how
I think we do. I feel like that's a different thing though. X-Men Twitter is not Marvel Twitter.
X-Men Twitter is their own separate aisle because like literally something good can be happening in like, people praising the new Fantastic Four run
Mhm.
and then they'll make it about the X-Men and you're just like,
Like
okay.
like I was Janet in Catching Strays.
Yeah. Yeah. What the heck?
They always make Janet catch strays and it's like, can you just like
Can you
calm
shut up?
down?
It's because they believe she caused a decimation, which proves
That is
they
like
didn't read.
the craziest
House of M.
reach that they did for that is you guys are so fucking dumb. Sorry, but the reaching is a bit crazy.
Like that just proves they didn't read a House of M. Because like if we are assigning faults to that, it's Pietro's fault.
It's always Pietro's fault.
Pietro's
Let's be
fault.
real here. When it's okay, because
Usually
so
Pietro's
also
fault.
Pietro, he could have saved Johnny Storm from his marriage. This
Okay.
is a deep cut because okay, so
Oh,
not
shit.
only so issue 244. What was it? So obviously Pietro steals Crystal from Johnny. That's the first time that Pietro could have saved Johnny from his marriage to Alicia. Then 244, Crystal is having her baby. Okay, Frankie was there, but like I feel like Pietro could have said something. Pietro could have been like, you should probably propose to Frankie, or hey, if Galactus comes down and asks your girlfriend to be a herald, try and convince her not to do it. Okay. Could have stopped it right there. But also 304, he specifically kidnaps Alicia. Okay. And you think at any point he would realize, he would just stare at this woman and be like, seems like a scroll.
What with his
Oh,
mutant scroll sense? Do you think all mutants can detect scrolls now or something?
I think that Pietro would be able to tell a shapeshifter from a non-shapeshifter. I
Or,
think
like-
that Pietro could have just like, or if Pietro would have just killed her.
I think the biggest question is how much training did Elijah have to go through to present as a blind woman without raising eyebrows?
A lot. Because I feel like the other thing is that she had to like wear like special contacts so that she would not be able to see.
That's dumb. If she's like a shapeshifter, that doesn't make any sense.
Nothing makes sense about this retcon. The only good thing is that it got the marriage annulled. I have never seen a single thing that is like pro Elijah Johnny marriage that was like, that made okay.
Yeah, are you guys on Tumblr at all?
Not really.
Not anymore. I need to be more on it.
Because I was gonna say, if you are on the blog, Fantastic Four has so many
Those are always so fun.
deep dives into Johnny, that entire thing, Sue, the Malice stuff, like all of it.
Not Malice. Fantastic Four Twitter gets mad at me a lot because I'll make Elijah jokes and also Malice jokes, and then specifically ask Daystar to draw Johnny in the Malice outfit, and I'm like,
yeah.
Fantastic.
People were asking me that. I'm like, I don't think so.
Fantastic Four Twitter can be very unserious at times because you're like, because like at some point you're like, yeah, they make a solid point, but then like at others you're like, okay, but like, why?
But like, why? Oh god, the worst thing is that you know how like the recent trend has been like post 6 characters and then like decide which one to remove. Well, I started the trend of people removing Spider-Man from that Fantastic Four extended family one, and I was right. Okay.
Yeah.
But also
Yeah.
at the same time, I'm the one Johnny Storm fan who doesn't like Peter Parker. So then everyone was getting on me about it, and I'm just like, hey, look,
Because
that-
all Johnny Storm fans are pretty much just Spidey Torch shippers.
Which, in fairness, that's a pretty good ship.
Uh-oh.
Like there's no
Oh no.
hetero reason to write "meet me at the usual place in the sky with fire."
no, because okay, yeah, I will admit it's a pretty decent ship. However, I'm of the opinion that it really benefits Peter, but it does not do anything for Johnny.
It's not. It's like it's better than Spidey Pool or Johnny and Akihiro, but like low bars,
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
bars.
very low bars, and at the same time, we have
Oh,
Johnny
wow.
Wyatt. We have
Mhm.
Johnny Wyatt, and then also we have writers who at least will say that they tried to make Johnny Wyatt canon. I don't believe them, but they said it. They
Mhm.
are admitting that this is a thing that people are asking for.
Mhm.
So I just think it would be very nice if Johnny and Wyatt could make out just once, please, for the love of God.
Honestly, I think Sue and Reed should have more than 3 ways.
With Tony Stark,
Ben.
Tony,
Him.
T'Challa,
Ben, T'Challa.
Black Bolt, Medusa, all of
He's
them.
got everyone. I felt so vindicated against Daredevil fans that day I won that poll.
Oh God! Not the bull.
Honestly,
That was my
they need
magnum opus.
to be humbled.
They needed
Yeah.
they needed to
like-
feel the pain.
They're like, yeah, this is one of the best TV shows in existence. You're like, but what about the racism in the show?
What about
and
all
and
issues?
and the violent anti-Semitism in the fan base? And you're like, and they're like, nope, this is perfect. We are perfect.
This is a perfect show. I got distracted because I was also looking at other food options because I was like, we have chili at home. I don't know why I'm doing this. I'm torturing myself with food. No, but okay, look. Wait, this is my long-standing theory because I've told Daystar this before, but Johnny and Tony are the same person and have the same criticisms thrown towards him. Because
Like?
okay, like you know the whole like they're a playboy. They're not really that serious. They're very like look. I see a lot of the anger towards Tony, and then I'm like, and then I turn around and I see a lot of people dismissing Johnny entirely, and I'm like, yeah, that's the same thing that happened.
I've never seen a single Johnny Storm hater on the internet.
I have.
You were lucky.
I'm mutuals with one of that.
Wait, you're mutuals with them?
In fairness, it's mostly a bit.
Okay. Well, yeah, I have my bits.
For the mean.
I love a bit.
I love a good bit, but also like, how could you hate him? He is precious.
I don't hate him.
I wasn't even talking about you.
I don't hate him.
I was just talking vaguely about how could someone hate Johnny Storm, and you're just like, I don't hate him, and I'm like,
I don't hate it. I'm accused of it on a daily basis at this point.
Okay.
So do we think Princess will show up again?
I hope so. I
Of
hope
course.
so. I feel like because like Ryan North already is like making like an archaeology issue for Sue, like literally not even, or wait, that's 17. So 5 issues after he announced it or announced her thing. I feel like he's gonna keep her in the run as long as possible, and then the immediate next writer is going to be like, let's throw the dog into the trash.
And he is like a
Kill the
huge
dog.
like dog person. I need to find the quote that so like in Unbeatable Squirrel Girl, Brian North writes these like sentences to paragraphs that are like about his life kind of. And he wrote one about him, like his dog. Oh, there it is. When my dog cries, I ask him about his big important feelings, and he never replies. Possibly because it's really hard to say your big important feelings and still sounds sincere.
It's because
He's
God,
so funny.
I
I just realized he was the Dino Comics guy, and I used to read those all the time. And I was like, oh,
yes.
yeah, okay, yeah, I get it.
It's like, yeah, that checks out now. It's like, man, why did this person make a 2-issue arc just about dinosaurs? And then it's like you find out he's the Dino Comics guy, and you're like, yeah.
Yeah, and he had a whole thing in Squirrel Girl where Doreen and Doom like fight in a museum, and Doreen is like wait, not here. The dinosaur bones are here. Then there's a whole thing that's like it's like, well, they're not actually real bones, so therefore it's okay.
it's not real dinosaurs, so we're good. See, this is why I need Ryan North to like also pull in more from like the other things that he has written, because he's also a writer for Lower Decks. And I need concrete confirmation that 616 Johnny is into Star Trek. I need to know if this
Have
boy
I not? I feel like I've sent you a panel about that.
You have sent me one panel, but I think it was also not canon.
I know,
and that's I think the only issue with it.
I need to ask him why 20 whatever year old Johnny was going on dates with like 18, 19 year old Doreen. Like, Johnny, hello.
Look, I think he was going through it between the years of 2015 and 2018. I think Ryan North did not put too much thought into it and just went, okay.
Well, I mean, he was there for a fire extinguisher joke, so it's still read Unbeatable Squirrel Girl. It is so good.
So good.
Yeah.
Look, I feel like also just in general, Ryan North doesn't really know what to do with Johnny at some points. Like, that's like my one criticism towards him.
That's kind of every writer, but they usually do it in like hilarious ways, which is why he's kind of fun. You'll never know what a writer will do with a next. Like, it's very obvious. Sue will 9 times out of 10 get like some kind of, oh, I'm more than just a mother arc.
Yeah.
Will get some kind of, I'm actually not a bad person arc.
It's always that arc.
And Ben gets a, well, I'm not a monster arc. But Johnny just gets whatever the writers want. And it's very fun.
I think that he should have an arc where he has to deal with the fact that he's a huge fucking nerd. Specifically because I need him. Okay, so I was flipping through some issues, and there's that issue where he gets like transported into like Rebel Without a Cause.
Yeah.
Okay, I need that to happen, but he gets transported into Star Trek as Captain Kirk, and he's just like, yes, finally. What I've been waiting for.
I need a Johnny arc where he gets pregnant.
By Wyatt Wingfoot.
He should be Nikki and Joe Venn's biological father.
Honestly, honestly not the weirdest thing to happen to him. After the okay, so there was the first fake pregnancy with Elijah, then there was the egg baby, and then I think that there was about to there is no wait.
There is
There
no
has to be a
third.
third. There is
Dan
no third.
could have said anything like he said, well, I had a plan for Sue, and it just never
Didn't happen.
happened.
He had a plan to get Johnny pregnant. Look, we don't know how scroll anatomy works, and technically, I don't really think the writers did either, because like first it was like Elijah's like, I'm pregnant, and then Elijah was like, oh, actually we have egg babies. And for some reason, okay, because I read that, or I was flipping through it for the Johnny Suffers collection, because obviously you have to chronicle Elijah the Laser Fist there. And I was like flipping through it, and I was like, why didn't at any point Johnny just stare at this egg and like be like, that's not how babies are made? Why didn't
I don't know much, but
I
know that.
Like, Johnny, use your brain for like 5 seconds and take a look at this egg.
Oh yeah, this is very almost entirely, but not entirely off topic. But have I told you guys about my Aquaman is a seahorse dad headcanon?
No, but I need you to elaborate right now.
Like, basically, in my mind,
I don't need you to elaborate. I get it, but go ahead.
Atlantean men in DC are the ones who get pregnant, and like especially like Arthur and Mara, she definitely pegs him. So like,
yeah,
it's like obviously he would be the one to give birth,
and that's why he'll always be better than Namor.
Exactly.
That's why he'll always be better. No, really. I mean, okay. Technically, I'm gonna plug my mutual stack real quick, but because she is writing a like basically correcting Miller's like AU where Johnny's the older sibling, and so in this we were talking, and then she was like, "Hey, what if Namor starts hitting on Johnny during all?"
I mean, there was one issue, I forget exactly of what it was, but like it might have been like a villain team up thing where Namor like goes to the Fantastic Four and's like, okay, Doom is being insane, and Johnny's like, wow, Namor looks great in those trunks.
Oh god, I know the exact panel you're talking about. It was actually, I'm pretty sure it was in a mainline Fantastic Four issue. It was either,
I thought it was like villain team up or something like that.
It could have been villain team up, but I have to actually hunt down for that panel. I forgot about that. It's very similar to my Rick Jones and Johnny Storm fighting panels, where I went on 4 months of searching for this book.
I can definitely find it on like Tumblr, which I think I found it. Oh yeah, Supervillain Team Up number 5.
See, this is me making notes for what books I need to buy.
Happening.
He goes, we haven't seen Tubby back in his swim trunks in a long time.
Oh my god!
You know, something? He looks good.
Guess what's on Marvel Unlimited, guys?
Is it? What is that?
Can you read that? I don't know if you can read that.
Yeah, no, that's the 1998 What If number 35.
Is it a different one?
That is a different one. So there's the 1977 What If number 35. That's the one with naked Johnny Storm in it. And then there's the 34 one, which is less insane because
both a Watcher freak humor issue.
They for some like
yeah, but
Rule 34 didn't exist. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rule 34 didn't exist back then, but for some reason, it's always the 34th issue that is the weird one. Because
I still cannot get over the fact that Matt Fraction made it canon that Uatu fucks.
oh my god, I forgot about that.
As he should.
You know who should have been pregnant? Uatu. Because because all the Watchers had been male up until that point, and then suddenly you just so happen to introduce a female Watcher just so Uatu can have a child. That seems a little bit suspicious to me. It seems like Uatu should have been
Yeah.
Uatu should have been pregnant.
I need to tweet a picture real quick.
Matt.
Don't mind me.
No, because so the original 1977 What If is so weird because okay, you have naked Johnny Storm, you have Black Widow eating Spider-Man, and then you also have so an inflation kink Tony Stark.
Fat Tony.
Yeah, Fat Tony.
Me?
Yeah, so
It's what if Tony had an eating disorder instead of a drinking disorder.
And yeah, so he's just
And it made it into Chris Cantwell's run.
Of course it did.
Wait, hold I need you to elaborate for a second. What do you mean?
There's segments that are on Twitter, and there's a Twitter user that trolls Tony, that is Fat Tony, with the picture from that What If comic.
God. Yeah, no. What? I'm actually going through this issue because there was more insane stuff that I just completely forgot about. What if everyone who had been an Avenger remained an Avenger? So they predicted that one.
Why?
Um
Rest in peace, the Avenger. He'll still never be a team again.
Yeah.
You're only going to be those 7 people forever.
This is why the Fantastic Four is great. You know exactly what you're getting.
Yeah. So there's what if the Hulk were yellow? What if the Invisible Girl dyed her hair? What if Power Man were white? Which I think that's the actual reason. I think that's the actual reason that this comic was just never put on Marvel Unlimited. And then of course, what if the Thing were blue? And then it's technically it's the originator of its slobbering time.
It's slobbering time.
There's 3 what if X survived. Oh god. What if Willie Lumpkin were Herald to Galactus? What if all the superheroes who now live in New York moved to Toledo, Ohio? And it's
not Toledo.
Oh, what if the Watchers in all realities got together and watched Watchers watching Watchers, etc., etc. They're just all watching each other.
What if you and everyone at the orgy is a voyeur?
Wait, everyone at the orgy is a lawyer?
Is a voyeur.
Oh.
That's what a Watcher orgy is. It's just everyone looking at each other.
Oh, God. Yeah. Oh, what if Wonder Man were a woman and Power Man were a girl?
That one's the best one.
Get it?
Wonder Woman and Power Girl?
Yeah.
Power Girl is my girl.
That is my wife.
Yeah. That's Jessica Jones' wife.
That is true. That is true.
Like Karen Starr Power Girl or
No, it's Luke Cage as a woman.
Luke Cage as a woman. Oh, what was it? What if Tony Stark had owned an auto plant instead of a weapons factory? And it's the Invincible Limo Man. Technically,
great.
He does.
Love it.
What if Sue Storm had become the Thing, which is also another that was actually explored in Marvel Adventure Hour.
Yep.
with the Fantastic Four, which is the best lineup that the team has ever had.
Absolute slay.
It's coming.
Oh,
Okay.
She ran upstairs just to ask me where it is.
I think
Is
the
this
what if
Spider-Boy?
Oh yeah, that's Spider Boy.
I think the what if I hate the most is like what if like Sue's second child lived because you're like, well, why the fuck are you doing that?
Yeah, I just read that one. And it. Okay, I like the evil Valeria thing where she's just like, I'm just gonna kill everyone. I'm down for a little bit of child murder.
I'm pretty sure that that's also where the Franklin, or not Franklin, the Reed hits Franklin thing comes
Yes,
from.
it is. It is where it comes from because I was like,
I
stop.
just had a dream of mine come true. Maria Castle as the Punisher.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There's also what if Alpha Flight talked like TV Canadians.
Honestly, not much would change with the twins, but like everyone else would change. Because you have to remember the twins are French and Canadian, so they have very strong like French accents, but the rest of them would be like very stereotypical.
Yeah, that's honestly what's making it so hard for me to read X Factor, because anytime North Star opens his mouth, I'm just like, that's not how people talk.
Yeah. It's somehow worse in the original Alpha Flight because they tried to do like a transliteration instead of a translation. So you're reading it with the French accent spelled out, and you're like, what the fuck is going on?
What is going on? This is why French people don't deserve rights.
Have you guys seen the TikTok that was like, wait, there's a cure for French people?
No.
Yes, I have. If you like cut out someone's like tongue, they can't.
Uvula.
Uvula.
So you can't speak French.
You can't speak French anymore. And I was about to bring that up in one of my fanfics. I don't know why or how. I was just gonna bring.
Was Gambit in it?
No, Gambit wasn't in it. It was just randomly. We're gonna bring up. Okay, I wrote Alex, or I wrote my OC with a little bit of an obsession with France. And so I feel like she just brings it up unprompted, and it's like 2 a.m. and everyone else is like, shut the fuck up. What are you doing with your no, but I found the I forgot there's a present mode on here. So I can I just didn't want to also also dox myself. But I need everyone to see this panel. It's my favorite panel for obvious reasons. Also with this,
Jonathan.
Yeah. Also, just in general, don't pirate your comics, unless if it's something funny like issue 35 of What If.
Okay, Mom.
Also, what if Aunt May became a superhero?
Yes, I love that one.
Golden oldie. What is it? Oh, this is a not good one. What if the Hulk married She-Hulk?
That also happened in another reality.
Mark Miller, is that you?
Mark, oh God, Mark Miller.
I will say, the Wastelanders Wolverine podcast significantly better than Old Man Logan, the comic. So significantly better. It's insane.
Yeah, I still need to listen to
It's really
Wastelanders, because
you can skip the Star-Lord one.
No, I was just gonna jump straight into whatever one had Brown Johnny Storm.
You totally can. They're all pretty separate, except for the last one where they all come together. But
I just love Brown dude Johnny Storm. What if Dazzler had decided to become a lawyer? Trying to
What is my dog doing? Okay, she's just being weird.
Yeah. Oh, what if Thor had gotten a haircut? What if Spider-Man had married the Black Widow?
classic.
Oh, here's the what if Iron Man
It's that Tony.
had an eating problem instead of a drinking problem.
I love him. He's great.
It's like
It's something.
it's something.
Hmm.
What if telling the Silver Surfer what will happen when Stan Lee reads this issue?
Has Stanley ever read a comic?
That is a question that I have yet to answer. I think he has at least read 2.
At least 2,
At
not
least.
more, not less.
Not more, not less. I think he read, or no, I don't think he has read any of the comics that he has personally written.
I know he hasn't read the Iron Man, the way he talks about that man.
That is true. That is true. Has he read Fantastic Fours? Definitely. It's a question I have. Because it feels like the answer is going to be no, despite the fact that he wrote it.
Oh yeah, have you guys heard of the Whatchahoochy got? Oh god, Zeb Wells' comments at Comic-Con.
I
What
forgot
he said.
that happened.
Oh, the stuff about Kamala?
Oh,
Yeah, it was about
also Across the Spider-Verse is coming on Netflix October 31st.
I forgot.
In case you want, good Champions content.
I don't know why my ribs started hurting like right after you said Zeb Wells in comments about, because it was something like oh yeah he didn't see that Kamala had a book at that point, and he was like, oh, she's not doing anything, let's just kill her. And apparently, so the X talks
I don't
happened.
think that's what he said. I think that's what people say he said.
No. Oh, okay.
I think he just put her. He was like, "I'll just throw her in my book," and then later they decided to kill her.
Yeah. Okay. Now I gotta like Zeb Wells Kamala.
Because I think they asked him about it, and he was just like, "Oh yeah, I thought she wasn't in anything, so I put her in." And then there was like a creator summit where I'm sure that the whole thing with the death and everything was something that all the X writers schemed up themselves and made him.
The X writers. I think it was the powers that be above them, like Feige, Cebulski, etc., etc. I think he wanted to put her in the run, but the death stuff happened because of just like the higher up executives.
Yeah, no,
if that makes any sense.
The weird thing about how he was talking about it, it sounded like he came up with the death. Like he took full credit for it. And it's either, now here's the thing, I don't believe a single thing that a writer has ever said in an interview, like ever, except for Ryan North when he said that he wanted to do a Johnny Storm romance. I trust that man. But with Zeb Wells, he has said repeatedly, like, I decided that Kamala was going to die in ASM. I chose to do that. There's no, he said, and I remember this quote specifically, there's no better stage to kill off a beloved character than Amazing Spider-Man. And but here's the thing, I feel like it was such a bad decision that Marvel executives are like also telling him take the fall for this one.
Yeah. I definitely see that being the case.
Like it's like we mentioned Dan Slott's comments about Johnny Wyatt. But it's like that, but like Marvel is actually like telling him like, hey, we cannot risk like people finding out that like it was Steve. I'm pretty sure it was
Yeah,
CB
the guy who,
Sapolsky
the guy who lied about being Japanese for a very long time.
for a very long time. I think it's his fault. I 100% think it's his fault and Nick Lowe's fault. But I feel like they're like, we can't get rid of these higher level executives. But if you take the fall, you're already having not a good time with Spider-Man. But if you take the fall, then we'll be safe. And I hate this entire this entire situation has put me through so much like weird like stress that
The thing
also
is, the most insane part, right, is like there was a new Ultimate Universe being developed at that time. The writer was going to be a Japanese woman. You could have very easily had an Asian writer writing a mutant Kamala without killing off 616 Kamala and forcing and like making her into a mutant.
yeah, because the talks about the Ultimates universe would have happened around the same time,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like
They came up with a lot of stuff.
and like Kamala never had an equivalent in Ultimates because she hadn't been invented yet. She
Yeah.
came a couple years after,
And by the time she was invented, the Ultimates was already kind of on the path to be destroyed.
it was literally like a year before the incursion. It was
Yeah.
they were like
Hickman
Miles
getting
had just came out. They're getting rid of
year,
everything.
because please correct me if I'm wrong, but like wasn't Miss Marvel like 20 whatever issues in volume 1 when the incursions happened? Because I think it was a little over a year.
Miss Marvel debuted February 2014. So that seems believable because I believe Secret Wars was kind of their big summer event.
Yeah,
and in 2015.
Because I remember reading through all the Willow Wilson Miss Marvel stuff, and like the original volume ended at like issue 20 something.
It was
so like
18.
Yeah,
It was
so like if it was being
18 or
published
19.
monthly, it was like a year and a half.
Yeah, roughly a year and a half. And
Which I think should be considered a feat, but
yeah, we're just saying no one's making those numbers anymore.
Comics
Marvel.
sue me, but
like Kamala's introduction is just it's so special.
It
to
is
me,
iconic.
but like again, the Ultimates universe, it's being brought back again. You could have a
But they're
mutant
not going to
Kamala.
put any. They're not going to put any good characters in it, though. Is the thing.
That is.
There's no good characters in it.
Yeah, they killed off Johnny Storm, and he's the best character.
Did they kill Howard? I think they might have killed him.
Howard died at the end.
Yeah.
And then they were like, yeah, Teenage Tony. And then everyone else was like, yeah, we're going to have Toxic Yowie. What was it? Toxic Age Gap Yowie? What was...
I
think so.
Hickman's Doom and Reed are basically toxic yaoi. So,
and now they're one man. So,
yeah,
if you've read Secret Wars 2015, you get it.
Yeah, it's the most toxic.
It's something.
Most toxic.
Yeah.
Secret Wars is definitely something.
See,
definitely a comic that exists.
It's social.
Yeah, because I feel like
it's not a lot. Well, duh.
Yeah, no, but I feel like I feel like with the Ultimates universe, like I feel like it's almost like inevitable that you should bring in Kamala and like the rest of the champions, because like that's where Miles got his debut.
That was so funny. People were so convinced. Uh-oh. The visitor is returned.
Coming. It's coming.
Oh,
Are you gonna say hi to people?
Hi.
Oh
People
yeah.
were
Hey, you want to tell people your opinions on Spider-Man?
He sucks.
hell yeah, he does.
He's stupid too.
True.
now,
Got him. Get
now,
him.
what is her opinion on Spider-Woman?
Okay. What's your opinion
You
on
know him?
Spider-Woman?
I don't know anything about her.
You don't?
No.
Valid.
Do you? Okay. What about Ghost Spider? You
I
know
have to
Ghost
go
Spider.
play with my friends, okay?
Okay. The
I
boba's
mean,
on its
Stop
way.
asking her about this nerdy shit.
I mean, what about her opinions on Miles Morales?
Her opinions on Miles Morales is I have to call Miles Spin, and that already disturbs me to like my core. I don't talk to her about Miles for that specific reason. Kids these okay, this is my personal beef with Spidey and his amazing friends. Because, okay, we could have also had a version that fixes that problem and brings back Johnny, and then we didn't. But also at the same time with that show, they call Miles Spin. And I'm like, of all things that you could have come up with, because there's an entire episode where they're like, oh yeah, we're both Spider-Man, but it gets confusing because there's two of us. And then it's like, okay, Peter's gonna be called Spider-Man or Spidey, and Miles is gonna be called Spin. And I'm like, why couldn't Miles have just been called Spider-Man?
I have very
Yeah.
distressing news. If you are interested in a certain movie about a certain mercenary with a mouth, the director of said movie was playing very coy when asked about Taylor Swift potentially making a cameo as a certain character who's based on, disco.
Yeah.
Well, okay, with that, I feel like the one benefit is that we know that all of those characters are going to get killed off like instantly. That's the one saving grace I think about all of that. Because
plus, with Taylor in the movie, it'll do well, which means
I don't want it to
Fantastic
do
Four will have a higher budget.
that's the sad thing. I don't want it to do well. I literally every single X-Men thing that is coming out, I have said that I need it to not go well. I need it to flop horrendously because I
want
want
it to
Marvel to
flop.
learn.
I want it to flop until I remember, oh shit, Reed's powers will cost a lot of money in VFX. I gotta root for this to succeed, if nothing else,
If
for the
nothing else,
budget.
for Reed Richards.
Yeah.
See, okay, because here's the thing. I know a lot of people cite this is we're gonna go on my like fifth rant about this, but like I feel like people a lot of times cite the budget for why a certain character's powers got changed, but I am of the opinion it's not because of that. It's because they just needed to bring her powers closer to Carol and Kamala's, or Carol and Monica's. Because that makes
She didn't even use them that much in the show.
I think
she didn't.
like the two truths can coexist, if that makes sense. Like,
Oh yeah,
they
definitely
changed the
wanted to
powers
cut
for
it.
for that one specific character to bring her closer to those other characters, and they're very expensive, and so that makes me worried for characters like Reed or elongated man.
I
whatever.
just now realized we're probably gonna give Reed wind powers.
I thought Sue.
Oh wait, no, because Sue was they're gonna
'cause-
give him water powers.
I want them to make Sue like the old 40s Invisible Man show. I want that to be how they shoot all of her powers.
like Larry Trainer and Doom Patrol.
Yeah.
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 It's like a floating cigarette.
I think that Sue's is probably the powers who are the most safe out of all of them
Mhm.
to not be changed, because I think that they're gonna try and make it so Ben can switch between forms, or spends like 80% of the movie in the dark again. And Johnny, look, okay, my one thing is that they cannot make him bald again. I'm so sick and tired of the bald Human Torch.
Do you guys
Bald torch.
remember in the first movie when they did the whole fake out Ben Grimm thing, where Johnny was like, "It's like you're so disfigured. It's terrible. It's awful." Then he gives Ben a mirror, and he hasn't transformed yet.
Yeah, I like that gag. That's
Me too.
That
I
was
think
cute.
it's like I think they kind of nailed the Ben and Johnny like playfulness of it all. And I think Johnny walking Sue down the aisle in the second movie was
Oh,
a
yeah.
nice touch.
Yeah, it's that. Oh god, Chris Evans, Johnny Storm. He has like high points for me, mostly
Yeah.
in the second movie, but then at the same time I remember that he is like the worst parts of Johnny Storm just like amplified, and it's
Oh
like
yeah.
I think Rise of the Silver Surfer is the best Fantastic Four movie, but that's also being like what's the best pile of shit to eat? Like
yeah.
it's not good, but it's the
See,
best option we have.
I remain that the 1994 Fantastic Four movie
Yeah,
is the best
I'm
one.
talking. I'm talking theatrically
Yeah.
released Fantastic Four.
If we just talk about theatrical release, then
It's
yeah.
definitely Rise of the Silver Surfer with really no competition. Because, like, if nothing else, that's the one movie where they feel like a family in some capacity.
That is true. That is true. And I like in general the arcs where like the Fantastic Four is deciding to disband, and Johnny's just like, what am I supposed to do? Like,
Yeah.
what?
And I
You-
know
My whole life, guys.
you know there was supposed to be a third movie where Franklin was supposed to appear, but literally every time this happened with the animated show and this, every time some project enters a chapter 3, whether it be a third installment to a trilogy or like a third season to a show, Franklin is set to appear, and every time it gets axed.
And then no, they're like
Every
no
time.
kids. What are they? Dan Slott?
It's honestly my favorite in joke is like yeah, it's probably for Franklin using his reality warping powers to
To get
stop
out
it.
of there.
He's like, you're gonna you're gonna misinterpret me. Delete. We're done here.
Yeah.
Delete it.
I
Look,
mean, he could have deleted Daniel, but
it's true. I feel like Franklin's his powers should just be used more for like ridiculous stuff. Like I think there's like two different versions of the whole like why does no one age in 616? I remember one of them was someone just trying to keep Tony Stark alive. You know the panel. And then the other one is
Yeah.
Franklin Richards has put everyone in a a time loop. And
Yeah.
I like that version better because, like, just the thought of this.
That one's very canon.
This
like
child is just seeing his uncle, like, just never grow up, and he's like, "All right, fine. You don't want to grow up? Reset."
I like it because it very much implies that Franklin did it subconsciously. Like he didn't get it, so then it's him like, what the fuck did I do when like what he did was like change the entire universe.
Like just repeatedly.
Yeah,
I love
and
that it's canon that Franklin erased Clint's hearing aids from existence.
Wait, what?
in fairness, he was like 5. He definitely
Mhm.
did not know what that was.
Yeah,
It,
it's funny.
What
he was a baby.
he's just like, what are
Yeah.
those things in your ear? And then they just
He was doing his
disappear.
best.
And he's like, oh, okay.
He also merged Tony into 3 different people, which is fun.
He
He's like, there's 3 Tonys and there's
Child.
supposed to be
Okay.
one. I'm just gonna.
Just see.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys have read the Daydreamers series where it was Man Thing, Franklin, Artie, Leech, and Howard the Duck. Like
I need to put it on my
the
reading list after
multiverse
that.
together. It was great.
See, I feel
That's
like
certainly a lineup.
more things should just be explained by Franklin fucking with shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Like,
you know,
and like very specifically without him knowing. 'Cause
Franklin
he's like,
Richards is the
"Whoops!"
reason that Johnny Wyatt isn't canon.
Franklin is the reason why Megan the Stallion twerked with She-Hulk.
Oh, shout out to Franklin for erasing Janet as a literal wasp. That was cool of him.
I think that more like, okay, comics need to be more ridiculous. I say this because, you know, Ryan North. I love that man. And I feel like with that, when you have such like a character like Franklin, when he's like so OP and he's so overpowered, he's just gonna start messing with shit. And there's like no explanation for why he's messing with stuff. Like, yeah, okay, it we're just gonna like, you know, everyone's just gonna be dinosaurs for an issue. Like, it just like a what if comic. Okay, first off, I just think in general, what if comics need to be brought back. Just they were entertaining. I love them.
And actually, what if not like the TV show that was just Exiles?
Yeah,
that show.
Fuck that show.
It's how do you have a concept that's called what if? Anything you want in the universe, and you choose the most boring concepts imaginable.
I don't.
Well, it wasn't even like it wasn't even what if because it was all one universe. I'm like that's just
like
you
what
did
if Peggy
Exiles.
Carter got the serum? What if Janet Van Dyne had a special virus from the quantum realm? You're like, you could have anything you want. You could do what if the other half disappeared. You could do like what if Hydra did whatever the fuck? What if like anything? And that's what you choose.
You know, I always praise the original What If because it really did take like that concept to like the extreme. Like it's one of the first ones that, you know, had like what if Elektra had lived? What if Jane Foster had the Hammer of Thor?
Yeah.
No. What? Pikmin tropical push. Oh, that's for Jovi. Whoops. Okay. I got the wrong. I got her a fancy little boba drink and they got confused because she now has my yogurt drink, which I'm hoping she didn't chug. She does a lot. No, but you know, like what if Spider-Man's clone had lived? Like it's very telling that like a lot of these what if concepts were essentially such like thought through ideas that they later actually became like real concepts. Like that's how good what if was. You use it to test the story's potential, and then you know, decide to release it into the wild.
I accidentally took a sip of yours because I thought it was mine.
I know you did. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll be right back. I have to grab something.
You're good.
Right.
Yeah, no, but I think
I'm looking at what if. What if Vision destroyed the Avengers? That's so cool of him.
that's so valid of him. Oh,
That's so slay.
Oh, there's also what if the Fantastic Four had different superpowers? I'm sorry, Johnny's shirtless in this issue.
There's a what if Peter Parker never married Mary Jane one.
Oh, I wonder where they got the idea from for one more day from.
I need to read that just to piss off Spider-Man fans. One more day. It's on my list. I gotta know.
It's such a good one. Oh. Where was it? Oh, there's also the classic one. What if someone else besides Spider-Man had been bitten by a radioactive spider? I always find that one interesting because J. Jonah Jameson's son is one of the people who gets bitten, and
Ooh.
that's just fun to see like how he would react to someone who, who's very close to him, suddenly turning into Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And then there's always my favorite, what if issue 3 featuring the Iron Avengers and Rick Jones.
Iron Avengers.
Oh, and then
They
issue
have
12.
They have the one with Jeeves as president.
Jesus Cap?
Jesus Cap? President Cap.
President Cap
They
as
had-
Jesus.
Because they had a run where they had like a two-parter where he was like considering running for office, but then at the end decides not to. So they're like, we're gonna do a what if about what if he did.
Yeah, I like honestly. Oh wait, there is one called "What if the Avengers fought the Kree Skull War without Rick Jones?"
Yeah, it would not have gone well.
It wouldn't have got. I think that also might be a Rick Jones death issue. I haven't. So my future plan.
Hey, Maxie, no, get down, down.
No.
No.
Oh, not the dogs. Why did you come back with a Hawkman?
So I just needed a little dude, and someone, Maxine, was trying to eat paper. You should not eat paper.
Dude,
That's
I hate it
bad.
when my nieces do that. They do eat paper. They horrify me. Yeah, no, but see, I feel like what if should go back to being like what if this thing that has happened in comics, what if it went differently? Because
If you had to do one like right now for something that's coming out currently, what would you do?
What if North Star was allowed to be relevant? What if Jen was allowed to still be with Wyatt?
what if Jen? No, because why was mine? What if Johnny marriage issue? Like going through all of his relationships, including Wyatt, and been like, what if they had gotten married instead?
You can do what if Scott Summers actually told Kamala Khan that she was a mutant? That could be interesting.
God. What if
Like, what if Kamala was 100% inhuman?
yeah. What if the Avengers let Rick Jones join?
That would be a good one.
That would, because they never let that kid on the Avengers.
At this point, it's funnier that he's not ever an Avenger.
What was it? Moondragon's been an Avenger.
We don't talk
his-
about that.
I'm pretty sure Marlo's been close enough to be an Avenger.
No,
No, she
I don't
hasn't.
think so.
I think it would be funny if Marlo became an Avenger.
They should let Marlo become one before Rick.
Like everyone become. What if
Whitney Ross
everyone
was
was?
an Avenger.
What if everyone was an Avenger but Rick Jones?
So basically, the Avengers.
Exactly.
Yeah, the Avengers. Everybody join the pool.
Oh, what if the Fantastic Four hadn't told Rick Jones to fuck off?
There would be no Avengers.
There would be no Avengers. I mean, to be fair, they did do, like issue 29. What if the Avengers defeated everyone? So I feel like it's a little valid to be like, what if Rick Jones just never made the Avengers?
Mhm.
Ooh, what if the Teen Brigade was still around? Where are all of those children now?
What if Janet Van Dyne was a mutant? That's one character I would like to see be a mutant.
Honestly, see, I think that more people should be randomly turned into mutants to the point where it just stops becoming like a like thing. Like like all the Fantastic Four, retcon them to be mutants. Every single one of them. I don't
It's
care if
funny
those kids are
because-
aliens.
It's funny because it's like people talk like, oh yeah, it's all about like mutant oppression in X-Men and everyone else is great. But like you read Avengers, the Avengers are like usually not always, but like definitely get the brunt end of some persecution that's pretty allegorical just for being superheroes.
Yeah,
So it's like it's still there.
the Fantastic Four too. Like
Yeah.
Ben Grimm's entire thing.
Mhm.
His entire thing. It's
Yeah.
just a metaphor. And it's like at a certain point, the X-Men aren't special anymore. They're just kind of there.
If everybody's a mutant, then nobody's a mutant.
Yes.
Exactly. And what if everyone was a mutant? What if everyone on Earth became a mutant?
What if Charles Xavier snapped his fingers? No, Franklin should do it. Franklin's gonna make everyone in the universe a mutant.
Franklin's just like,
Mutants.
Yep.
oh, you don't want me to be a mutant anymore, Charles? Now
Mhm.
everyone's a mutant.
Everyone but Charles.
Everyone but Charles Xavier. Like, no more mutants, but it's more mutants.
Yeah. No more mutants.
Yeah. No more mutants.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think that Franklin Richards should be the one to hold, like, to be the like narrator through the new What If series.
Honestly,
And it's just him fucking
it
with
makes
the
sense.
reality.
Especially with the Mark Waid like history of the Marvel Universe thing.
Yeah, he could just be like, hey, we're gonna run the scenario. Like, oh,
Me God.
if Valeria is there too, who's feeding him these scenarios, be like, here's what you change.
Yeah.
What if
Valerian's the ideas guy, and then he just executes them all.
It's just I need them to team up more. That's I really like Valeria, and I really like just her existing outside of like the family and just being Valeria should be allowed to fuck more shit up.
Yeah. She should be a disaster. And I say that affectionately.
She's the disaster sibling. I just think, well, first off, more children need to be in comics. More people should be pregnant. I think that Johnny Storm should be pregnant. Let this
Don't
man
put this
start a
on Tony.
family. I think Tony Stark should be pregnant.
No.
What if Franklin Richards makes a universe where Tony Stark is pregnant? That's the entire concept of the what if. What if Tony Stark had been pregnant?
That's just that one universe where he's married to Steve.
That is another what if scenario that needs to be explored more.
Remember when we were going to talk about She-Hulk?
So anyway, if you're curious about it, if you've read Rainbow Rowell's run, this is basically a recap
It's
of
the
that.
same thing.
So, but I will
The same
say
thing.
Jessica Gao's story at the very end was hilarious.
Mhm.
It's-
That
And
was cute.
also, it'll make those people angry. So go buy it.
Yeah, also Wyatt Wingfoot's appearing in the second issue, and I need everyone and
Look
their
at her.
mothers.
Look,
I need
look at Mother.
Okay.
she is mother and father is returning.
Write your congressman, tell them you want Jack of Hearts out of the book.
wearing your costume.
And like, look at her. Oh,
She's just
that's the wrong one. Hold on.
how many?
There she is.
Because I have old Sensational She-Hulk.
Oh, I
over
love
here, too.
I actually
What?
think Sensational is like the only, at least semi-decent thing John Byrne has created ever.
It is. It's so good, but I hate John Byrne.
It's semi-decent at the very least.
Yeah.
Which
Okay.
is better than most Byrne things.
Yeah. I bought 5 copies of this book. I need more people to buy more copies so I don't have to buy 22 copies.
Mother, look at how
Mother.
muscular she is in the Jessica Gao story. That's not
Literally.
She is
It's just
weird.
so
That's Mother
glorious.
right there.
And
Mother.
look, all I'm saying is that if the second issue does not sell well, I will be personally fighting local comic book shops. I will be knocking on their door, asking them, where is Wyatt Wingfoot? Why did you directly impact me seeing Wyatt again? Because he's just so perfect. He's the perfect boyfriend. Okay, like, we talk about Rick Jones, sidekick of the, well, I talk about Rick Jones. Rick Jones, sidekick of the universe. Wyatt Wingfoot is the boyfriend of the Marvel universe. Okay, you want to give your character a boyfriend? Just put Wyatt Wingfoot in there. He is perfect.
Reed Richards is the husband of the Marvel universe.
Reed Richards is the husband of the Marvel universe. I think, okay. I think that you...
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what I'm about to start. I don't know what I'm about to start saying with Wyatt Wingfoot again, because I'm just thinking of how hot he is. Like, it's just.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Too much. Too much Wyatt.
I'm sorry. Did you say too much Wyatt? Too much Wyatt.
It's every 10 seconds. Everything's about Wyatt.
Everything's about Wyatt. Look, there was that literally the live where I just got drunk, and then after a certain point, it was just like
screaming about Wyatt, and then I got there.
Look, I think that he needs to be in more things, and more importantly, he needs to be Jen's boyfriend again. Like, okay, so you want because I feel like what they're trying to do with Jack of Hearts is that they want someone who has had a relationship with She-Hulk, and you want that to kind of create tension between them. And it's
but they don't
ruin everything about Jack of Hearts at the same time.
Yeah, it's that, but they didn't want to use Vision. Because if you remember, in at least
I mean, she did. They did cover that
thing.
Like they covered that. That was like one of my favorite Avengers moments. Yeah. Is their reunion after that, which is why I got so fucking excited when I saw Jack. I read the first issue. Like, I was not spoiled. I just read it on the first day, and I was like, I've never screamed and jumped up reading a comic like that before. Like, I was so excited that Jack was gonna be in this and they were gonna talk about it, and then they fucking did it.
And then they didn't. Yeah, and I feel like if you want an ex-boyfriend, but you don't want to actually deal with the whole they need to.
It's not not an ex-boyfriend.
Oh wait,
they never dated.
Yeah, if you want someone who has had a history with Jen, but you don't really want to address why they broke up, Wyatt Wingfoot is the perfect candidate because they never address why they keep on breaking up.
Dan Slott broke them up so she could almost get married to J. Jonah Jameson's son.
Oh yeah, Man-Wolf.
Yeah.
Man-Wolf.
That was
at the very least, the original Dan Slott mini was not terrible. It's the everything that came after that was not great.
Yeah. As it normally
I still
is
think
with
about
Dan
the
Slott.
time you said that it's just Rainbow Rowell. It would be Wyatt, but she's just too racist to have put him in there, so she put in Jack.
I did say that.
And that's so true. I can't believe you nailed it so well.
No, because it honestly feels because Rainbow Rowell. I know. Going into this, I knew her from two things: Fangirl, which was it's a book.
I know she also wrote a Runaways run.
Yeah,
I read. It wasn't it's not as good as the Brian K. Vaughan stuff, which is it's great, but it's also not awful.
Yeah. See,
Mhm.
going into this run, I only knew Rainbow Rowell for her racism in Eleanor and Park.
I actually
So,
when I was in like 8th grade, I must have been like 13. I did a project on that book, Eleanor and
of course
Park.
you did.
And,
It was everywhere.
and what I did was I created a mixtape of like different songs that
God.
fit each character.
Why do I know the exact project you're talking about? This is how the education system works.
Yeah.
Because we had that exact same one. And like, okay. Like, again, I knew her for that. And then so all of a sudden, Jack of Hearts appears. And I'm, at first, when I first read the run, I didn't know that much about Wyatt Wingfoot. That's how quickly these obsessions go into focus. But I didn't know anything about Wyatt. And then I started reading about Wyatt. And then I saw how cute him and Jen were together. And then I'm like, wait, we could have done this exact same plot, but better if we just put Wyatt in here. And then I'm like, who's the author again? And it's like,
Oh,
I don't think Rainbow Rowell is writing the backup, is she?
she's the bonus story for
Yeah,
next
I don't
issue?
think she's
No,
the one
she is
writing the
not.
bonus. Yeah, so at least there's that.
She is not, and I'm so glad for that. I got really nervous for a second because at first I when I read it, I thought that Rainbow Rowell was going to be writing the backup as well. And I was like,
yeah, no.
Wyatt is a precious baby. He needs to be protected at all costs.
Yeah, but
don't
they gave one to, I forget who wrote it, but Bonita Firebird had one, and Avengers that was by a different
It-
creative team.
yeah, because
It was odd.
I think the Wyatt Wingfoot one is by someone who worked on the indigenous Marvel voices last year,
Yeah.
when they used to
I
have
think
those.
that's kind of like the replacement for voices this year. Is they're like putting in bonus stories.
Yeah, which I don't like because there's less
Yeah.
of them because there's only
I
like
would
one
be
comic.
down for Marvel Voices Avengers if it was like an ongoing, like if it was an anthology series, like something like Marvel Presents, and they just like kept doing it. That would be fun, but just like a one-off, I'm like, okay.
It's like okay, that's fun. What I just pulled out because I'm trying to figure out who is okay, so it's Bobby Wilson who okay, the name does not sound like it is a Native American writer, but I can promise that it is. They hired him
Yeah.
for the past 2 Marvel Voices Heritage issues. So there's at least that. And I think that we just need we need a Wyatt Wingfoot Marvel Voices. Just him, no one else.
Hey,
Just
Marvel Voices
Don't-
Wyatt Wingfoot.
don't exclude Echo.
okay,
I
Echo
love
was in
Echo.
the past 2 Marvel Voices Heritage. I'm talking about a Marvel Voices to specifically fix all the issues with Wyatt Wingfoot's tribe and actually like figure out what's going on there. Cuz it's okay, I read Ceremony. Ceremony was good, but Ceremony was also written by a bunch of white people and it really does show eventually.
Mhm.
And I feel like we just need to do like not a recap of Ceremony, but we need to do just something that focuses on Wyatt separate from everyone else. And just figure out what's going on with the Quasi tribe. Why why did Wyatt mention a mission school in his first appearance? Or his first 3 appearances. Because he did bring it up a lot of times. Like, what is going on there? What
Oh my god. Just screaming children in the background.
Yeah,
It's
that's
fine.
hold
That's
on.
something that's gonna happen.
Yeah, that's just. I didn't know my mic could pick up that well. Because I can barely hear them with my headphones, and I was like, oh yeah, my mic surely isn't picking up that.
It adds
I'm
to
sorely
the
mistaken.
ambiance
The ambiance of this is
of you screaming about Wyatt Wingfoot.
this is what happens when you live with children. Okay, this is also why Marvel should give me my own story about Johnny Storm, because I will write what a startling, fuck. I will write an accurate representation of what it's like to be in your 20 somethings, and then suddenly your sibling has 2 kids. And how much stress you're under because of that change alone. I wholly believe that because also Johnny stopped having relationships, like good, like long-term relationships after Valeria was brought back. So I honestly think
because she's the moment. So
she is the moment, but I feel like part of it is because Johnny now has to deal with these 2 kids, and now there's 4 of them. So
He's a mother now.
he is a mother,
he
and
is
that's
a
why
mother.
he can't be pregnant. Just an entire issue of just because there was no Marvel Voices Fantastic Four. There was a Marvel Voices X-Men. There was a Marvel Voices Avengers.
Marvel Voices Fantastic Four would be audacious.
Would be Ben talking about being Jewish.
That's
and
about
Jim
it.
Talking about being Romani. And that's it.
And Wyatt Wingfoot.
Maybe a story
Wyatt Wingfoot.
about Sue being a woman because we all know the Women's History Month issues don't acknowledge her.
Yeah, I don't understand that because okay, so they started doing these books in like 2020. Okay, I understand the first one leaving Sue out because it was still
synergy. She's not in the MCU yet, and so therefore she's not valuable to them.
See, like that made sense for like the first like 2 times or 3 times that they did it. This year, I'm like, okay, really, where is she? Where she's about to show up in the MCU. She has, the Fantastic Four books are out right now. Why is Jackpot there, but not Susan Storm? Specifically calling out Jackpot's inclusion because everyone else on that cover made sense, and then I just see a tiny little Jackpot, and I'm like, Mary Jane. And
They should put Whitney Frost on one.
Honestly, bisexual icon.
This is how you get Daystar to buy like 500 the 500 copies of one book. You say Whitney Frost is getting her own story.
I am definitely buying the Spider-Man books that she's going to be in. So.
Oh my god!
I am only buying the
Somebody literally yelled at me about that.
Because
she's going to be in Daredevil if I'm buying that.
Because Jessica Drew is my wife. If it wasn't for Jessica Drew and me trying to make sure that Jen is not fridged by Zeb Wells, I would not be paying attention.
That is that
literally yelled at me on TikTok for implying that I was going to buy a Spider-Man book.
No, because I see everyone falling into the same traps I did a few months ago. Because, Kamala kept on appearing in ASM, and I'm a Kamala historian, and I had to have every single appearance by her. So I kept on buying copies of ASM.
It's like me trying to get you to not buy Iron Man.
Yeah, and then 26 happened. And here's the thing. I put myself on a ban from buying 26. I was like, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to support this book. Guess what was accidentally in my pull list?
ASM 26.
ASM 26, specifically the fact that they had a cover with Mary Jane as Spider-Man and she was swinging around with Peter Parker. And so I accidentally bought a copy of ASM 26.
Oops.
And I have regretted it ever since. I mean, technically, I also did buy another copy of ASM 26. But
How many copies of Iron Man have you bought?
I didn't buy
in
any
total?
copies of Iron
Good.
Man.
I know that's not true about everybody in this chat.
I mean, also because my local, so the local comic shop I'm going to right now, they have like new issues that are kind of like hotly talked about, including indies on like a shelf, and so She-Hulk was there, Jay Garrick the Flash was there, like Avengers Inc., whatever, but like not like the issues that were like Invincible. Iron Man wasn't there. Quite a few X books weren't there either.
Which everyone should be reading. Jay Garrick's The Flash. I picked it up.
If I wanted to hate it so badly because I don't like the retcon of Joan Garrick having a kid when she was historically within the books not able to have a kid, like she was infertile. But the way that Boom, Jay and Joan's daughter, is being written actually makes me like her, which is a big thing because I was very fully prepared to be like, she sucks, this is a bad retcon, but it works.
It works. It's like,
and like that's probably like the biggest compliment ever if someone who's like, yeah, I didn't want this to happen. It was important to both Joan and Jay that Joan was not able to have kids, to have a kid and to have it work is a big thing.
Oh yeah, no. It's the Lijah retcon theory. I don't like Lijah, but the retcon fixed a lot of things and maybe it works.
It's like the reverse, it's like reverse Lijah almost, because like,
yeah,
I would have hated it if it wasn't for the fact that the character was like written well, had like interesting, intriguing things happen, things like that.
Yeah. And so we are, it's 9. We have gone for 2 hours. We did, as always on Ash and Their Fantastic Friends, we do not talk about whatever I planned to talk about.
Nope.
This happens every single time. But again, thank you, Daystar and Lily, for joining me. Their links on YouTube at least will be in the description. I'm just pointing downward in general, but y'all know where it is. Any last words you want to say before I go on a mini Wyatt rant?
Go read.
Everyone should read.
Go read Jay Garrick Flash and Wesley Dodds Sandman, and also Hawkgirl.
I don't have Sandman, but
I want everyone to read the Jack of Hearts mini from 1983.
I don't have that one. It's like, yeah, no, and as I'm going to be yelling for the next month, a month exactly, everyone needs to go buy Sensational She-Hulk #2. We are getting the return of Wyatt Wingfoot, and if we get the return of Wyatt Wingfoot and it does well, maybe we could get Jack of Hearts out of this book.
If you kept up with the Rainbow Rowell She-Hulk run, you don't really need issue 1 because it goes over all of the stuff you may have missed. Issue 2 is the one you need.
Issue 2 is the one you need because it's the return of Wyatt Wingfoot.
And I am saying that as a ride or die She-Hulk fan.
I'm a ride or die Wyatt Wingfoot fan, and if this book doesn't go well, I am personally going to go to your comic book shops and yell at people. So please pre-order it. Please give Marvel your money. This is the one time I will ever say this. Please give Marvel your money so maybe we could get Wyatt back. But anyway, with that, we are out of time. Thank you for everyone for joining. Well, next week. Oh god, next week's a Miss Marvel week. Yeah.
Wait, does Fantastic Four come out next week, or is that 2 weeks?
15th. So 15th of November.
15th of November, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so not a Fantastic Four week. Awesome.
Not a Fantastic Four week. It's just gonna be me screaming for 2 hours. Yeah. But yeah, we'll see you guys next time.